Recently, I was talking to an internet friend about censorship, specifically censorship in localization. I don't think I put forward as good an argument as I could have, and now I want to fix that. There are two main points of his I want to address. 1. How can I tell when something has changed? Would I even know these changes existed if it was not for angry people on the internet telling me so? And 2, he thinks that the changes are better than the original. To both arguments, I think I've found the perfect counter-argument. Aliens. See, the thing about the film Aliens is that there are two different cuts of the film. The theatrical cut, which was released in cinemas, and the director's cut, which was later released on video and DVD. The theatrical version cut 17 minutes of scenes that were restored in the director's cut. What does this have to do with localization? Well, it shows the difference a few simple changes can make. While there are some people who prefer the theatrical cut, or even don't know that there are two different cuts of the film, most people I know who have seen the film will say the director's cut of the film is better hands down. If you prefer the theatrical cut, that's fine. You have your own opinions, and there's nothing I can really say except I disagree. But as for point 1, how can I tell if something has been changed or censored? If you're asking if I know something that I don't know, that's obviously silly. But when it comes to being able to tell if something is changed from what it was, Aliens is a good example. People who've only seen the theatrical version often have questions, like how the hell did Newt, the little girl they find in the alien-infested colony, get there? The director's cut has the answer. Now you could put this down to plot holes or poor filmmaking, but that doesn't change the fact that something feels off and isn't properly explained. There are other examples. One famous plot hole was from the film Independence Day, where Jeff Goldblum manages to write a virus for the alien computer. That's explained in a deleted scene. Not censorship per se, but it arguably made the film worse. One from my own past was the game WrestleMania 2000. There were lots of options for blood, moves that were marked as causing bleeding, and even animations that implied bleeding, but there's no blood in the game. Was this a glitch? No. It turned out that the blood was censored in the European release. And if those examples aren't enough, here's a clip from the YouTube show Brandon's Cult Movie Reviews, where he notices a missing scene in the film Challenge of the Tiger.
Hey, Richard, what happened?
Oh, sorry, I was just taking a nap until my next sex scene.
Where's Anna now?
I don't know. Must have taken her.
What? Anna's been taken? When the hell did this happen? I didn't skip over anything here. Last time they showed her, she was just sitting in the stands. Then after Bruce's fight scene, they just suddenly say the bad guys took her. Even though when they show the bad guys leaving, she's nowhere to be found. What, did the actress have to buy groceries that day and Bruce didn't feel like shooting another scene? Come to think of it, they don't even show Richard getting knocked out. Look, at the beginning of the fight, he's not there. Then at the end, he's suddenly passed out by the car. They couldn't film one shot of Richard Harrison getting punched or something? Priorities, Bruce, priorities!
Was it censored? I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if a scene or two was cut at some point for some reason. I could go on, but I'm sure you get the idea. People can sometimes tell when something is wrong, or if something is being changed. They might not necessarily jump to censorship right away, but the point is you can tell that something's off. And while some might prefer the cut or censored version, usually the uncensored version is the better version to a lot of people. Before I end this video, I also want to mention something that didn't come up in our conversation as we had moved on. But I want to talk about why these changes and cuts are made. It's not to make the work better or to make something easier to understand for another culture. Instead, these changes are made for the benefit of the translators. In some cases, that means hijacking the game so they can insert their own political opinions or cringe-worthy attempts at writing. But for me, the more convincing argument is simply money. Be it localization companies getting paid per change and thus trying to change as much as they think the game's translation budget will allow, two half-wit publishers thinking that if they remove the BDSM from a BDSM game that it will be a hit with kids and families. I hope that clears that up. Thanks for watching. Bye.